Nikita season 4 episode 1 Wanted. Now, I've been waiting for this show to come back because it's definitely one of my favorite shows, and sadly, while I'm happy it's back, this is the final season because the past couple of seasons tend to get like amazing ratings. But I'm definitely glad we get to at least have a conclusion to the series rather than just have the show end on a cliffhanger like a lot of shows do, and then they just get canceled, between seasons. But I'm definitely excited for this episode. I thought it was a great episode. It was a great start, to the season. Things have changed because Nikita's been out on the run after, witnessing the president die, and she killed herself. So that question is still there, and everyone's trying to figure out what led to her killing herself. Who had that type of control over her and stuff like that. And Nikita's out on the run. She left everyone because she wanted to keep them out of the spotlight and keep them safe. So Alex is, basically keeping up her persona as, a queen. I believe she is, or heiress or something like that. I think she's the queen now. But, she's going out, doing the speeches and things like that. But, she still has, sort of that division training. So she's looking up the people that are surrounding her, and she's, checking out them and saying, okay, they're doing illegal stuff. I'm going to go stop them, and, things like that, which is really cool to see, where she's still out doing her thing, and everyone is pretty much, they're either looking for Nikita or they're still stopping bad guys. But in this episode, Nikita, I like how it's actually one of the more suspenseful type of episodes, how they do, where you have to figure out, or you have to wonder, how is she going to get out of this. And I love that that's how they started this season, because Nikita's been on the run for months, they've said. And they had the scene where she was about to get arrested by the cops. I love that scene where, the guy thinks, it's two of us, we have guns on her, what's gonna happen? And then when the guy goes to cuff her, like, I love how she, like, slowly puts her hands back just to make him, get closer. And when he grabs her, she does, like, this insane reversal and just has him in, like, a headlock within her leg. And then, she's shooting at the one cop. She obviously wasn't trying to kill him because, if you watch the show from season 1, she could have killed that guy in a second. And the other guy she obviously had locked down. But, she shot at the guy and then shot out the tires and, sped off. I love that scene. And then, right after that, she goes to this guy who's a reporter who's pretty much been, I guess, one of the leading people trying to figure out, where she is, how she got into the White House, who she was working with as far as, the death squad and things like that. And so, she goes to him for help because she thought, as he kind of put out there, he kind of inferred that he had, or he implied that he had, a sort of a contact, and people had to just think, oh, he has someone in the FBI or things like that. But it turned out, all this time, it was really just Amanda being genius and, doing this for over months, just so that she could eventually get Nikita trapped and in this building, which was really great. And I feel like we didn't get to see enough of Amanda in this, but at the same time, it was her plan, and that's kind of how she is as a character. We don't see too much of her unless she's in one of those just really crazy episodes. Those are some of the best where she's actually in the field. But it's just Amanda's character. We see some of her. We get to hear her kind of say her sort of one-liners where she's not really talking to Nikita, but she's just, it's like her form of excitement. She just says like one flat line, very straightforward. But it's great to see her. We got to see everyone pretty much. And the biggest thing about this episode was that Sam was in it for like a second, and he kind of just like, yeah, I can't think of the name he took on, but, or like his real name, I guess, or maybe that was his real name. I can't even remember because it's been so long. But he comes up against Alex, after she's done her mission, and he basically takes, the wand thing off of her, which, just leads into a whole different plot line with people being tagged like cattle. And I feel like that's a lot more than just human trafficking. So I'm curious to see where that goes. But, he's off on his own now. And I love how they kind of showed him. And like I said, it was only for like a second. And he took the device, and that was pretty much it. But we got to see everyone who's a major player, in the series. And I'm sure there will be other characters that come in this final season. But it was great to see everyone just as they are as characters. Burkoff was himself, and I love the scene where Nikita's by the fans, and I can't remember the agent's name, but he's like, would you please talk to her before she decides to shoot her way out the side of the building. And she's like, what if I shoot out this fan? He's like, like see. But it was great to have everyone just be themselves, and it was great to see everyone in a different situation after Nikita left for all these months, and now she's sort of back in the fold. But at the same time, she is still out on her own because she wants to keep everyone safe, and it won't be as hard as I thought it would be because the FBI agent that she takes hostage sees Michael, and I thought, okay, this will definitely play into future episodes where they're gonna have to figure out, once he basically tells the sketch artist this is what this guy looks like and stuff, because he mentioned how he would go to see if his wife is safe, and then right after that he'd go right back to hunting Nikita. So I thought, if he's gonna still hunt her after seeing that image, he'll definitely go to someone and say, this is what Michael looks like. Then they'll have both their images out, and it would just be harder for them to escape. But in the end of this episode, it turns out that he and the reporter both end up being killed, and it just puts more blame on Nikita because she escaped. So of course they think she planted this bomb as well, just to kill off people who saw her face. And it was a great ending to the episode, and also her being shot was not what I expected. I figured it would just be he'd shoot at the car and that would be it. She would escape, but she was shot through the arm, or like right through the shoulder, and now she's off on her own, and she's fairly dazed. Crashing a car, you're pretty dazed, but she's off on her own and injured now. It'll be great to see how that plays into next week's episode. But it was a great season premiere. I'm definitely excited for this final season. Sad it's the final season, but happy to see how they wrap it up. Amanda and the guy she's working with. I don't even remotely have a clue what that guy's name is because he's in it so rarely. They couldn't have said his name more than a dozen times, like throughout the entire series. The episodes he's been in, but they're a crazy part of an organization. So excited to see where that goes, and excited to see for sure what exactly was Amanda had that allowed her to control the president and make her kill herself and just make people kind of go crazy, if it is drugs or if it's something even crazier than that, like some form of like insane technology. But excited for the season. Great to I'm really curious to see how things go with everyone knows who Nikita is. She's like the most wanted person in America. How is she gonna clear her name, and how is everyone gonna stay clear, and things like that, because they have to help her out but also not be in the spotlight. So it'll be great to see how the season plays out, and I'm excited for the final season. But comment below, let me know what you guys thought this episode. I don't even know what question to ask, but where do you guys think this final season of Nikita is gonna go, and what do you guys want to see for this final season? Is there anything like special special that you guys feel hasn't been shown, or hasn't a question that hasn't been answered that you don't think will be a main focus but you still want answered? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.